But as days pass by, you will start missing home. You start feeling inferior and stressed out on that matter. What you need to understand is that everyone has their own journey and struggle. In this situation, you will feel very inferior remembering your friends back home who are working in banks, and recognize that returning home should not be seen as a measure of failure. You will always have one question in your mind: can I stay in this country forever? We often romanticize the idea of moving abroad. We start dreaming big, get a lot of expectation and hopes, and tend to underestimate the struggles and hardship in a foreign land. Even when we ask our friends and relatives living in foreign country, they answer very lightly, and the answer usually is, you'll adapt after you come here. And when expectations don't meet after we move abroad, it becomes challenging. In today's video, I'll be talking about the hardship and challenges students face after moving abroad. Wait, don't take me wrong. Through this video, I'm not discouraging you to move abroad for your study, but I'm trying to prepare you mentally for your challenges you might face abroad. Let's move forward with today's video. The first struggle that I want to talk about is financial struggle. For most of us, the main reason behind us moving abroad as a student is to earn money. And many students ask me for suggestions on which country is easily accessible, along with good income and fast PR process. And such a country with everything very easily accessible is very rare. I hardly know any. What usually happens is we tend to focus on only one thing before we move abroad. That is per hour wage. But we neglect if the income will be sufficient to pay the tuition fees and many other expenses that comes along. And we realize all these things after we finally move to the country. Most of us go abroad with the mindset of doing part-time jobs that will not only pay the bills but also pay the loans that are back their home. It is very challenging to feel all the expenses with part-time jobs, and you need to learn to set your priorities. Especially in student visas, there are restrictions and limitations in work hour, which is why it gets difficult to even pay the tuition fees and sometimes even the living expenses. In this condition, paying the loan looks impossible. That is why you need to understand that there are big financial struggles ahead. By struggle, I mean in the initial phase. Managing tuition fees, living expense, and paying your loans disturb you a lot. Therefore, be mentally prepared to handle the situation from now on. However, you will start managing all these things after you slowly start adopting the environment and practices. Another thing I see people struggle with is their academic life, particularly subject selection. We tend to choose the subjects with the least tuition fees, and that gives the admission offer earliest. Later, when you start attending the classes, you realize that the subject is not of your interest, making it difficult to concentrate on your coursework and exams. This makes academic life very difficult. Another struggle you will face in the initial phase is the education system and teaching methodology. The research-based education system abroad makes it difficult to adjust for students coming from countries where there is often greater emphasis on theoretical knowledge gained from books. But slowly, as you adapt, it gets easier, but take time and be prepared that the education system will put you under stress in initial phase. The assignment system might also make it difficult here. The practice of doing group assignments and having a deadline will put you under pressure. And this is something everyone goes through it, so it is not something you need to really worry about. The third struggle is homesickness. This is something every person goes through after they move abroad. For the first few weeks or months, you will not be having this feeling of missing home as you get busy adopting and knowing things in a foreign land. But as days pass by, you will start missing home. From my personal experience, when you start missing home, your mental health gets affected indirectly and you'll start getting affected by very small things as well. But as you go through it, you will learn to cope with it. My suggestions to overcome these challenges is to try being social and interacting with friends in classroom activities and outside. This will help you a lot in beginning phase. But to those who are yet to apply, be mentally prepared that you will be having this homesickness. Another struggle is the inferiority complex. After you reach abroad, you will see people around you that have already lived 15 years in the country and with a good and settled lifestyle. You start feeling inferior and stressed out on that matter. But what you need to understand is that everyone has their own journey and struggle. You should not compare yourself with others, but give your 100% to what you can do in that period of a time. Not comparing yourself with others reduces stress to some extent. You can't expect your lifestyle to be the same as that of a person who has been living abroad for 15 years. You have just begun your journey, and it is obvious that you cannot afford the lifestyle initially, but time will come for you as well. Understand that everybody started off as you did, worked hard from the scratch to reach that level. And one day, sooner or later, you will also reach that level. Another reason that will make you feel inferior is your work. After you move abroad, you will sometimes have the compulsion to accept any kind of work that is offered to you, ranging from cleaning to washing dishes. When you start doing this sort of job, you will start feeling inferior to the status you had in your home country. Some even feel inferior about not getting job in their field even after having 3 or 4 years of experience in their home country. The situation is not that easy, and you get compelled to work whatever comes in your way. In this situation, you will feel very inferior remembering your friends back home who are working in banks and other high-level jobs with the same skill set you have while you are doing the jobs that you are not satisfied with. And this is also a very common feeling. For this, you need to be prepared to do any sort of job as per the situation after you come abroad. Having said that, it isn't that you get jobs like cleaning and washing dishes only. There are other great jobs with great wages too. But there might be a worst case scenario when you need to accept the jobs you get. Another problem is language, and you face this problem especially in European countries. After you come to European countries, it is necessary to learn the local language. In developed Nordic countries like Finland, Norway, Denmark and Sweden, you can communicate in English in your day-to-day life, and language isn't a big problem there. But as you start looking for a job and interacting with people in society, you will face a big issue of language. For this, be mentally prepared before you come abroad. If possible, try to take language classes as well. Another struggle you will face is a lack of relevant work. As I said earlier, you might have to do any sort of job in the beginning phase. There is no guarantee that you will find a job that you are looking for. The system is very different in Europe. Even if you have many years of experience in your home country, it is very difficult to find relevant job due to various aspects like language barrier. Another big struggle is the settlement process after graduation. There will always be a question, now what? What after graduation? It is easier if you get a job and is sponsored right after your graduation, but what if you don't? This question will always trouble you a lot. The uncertainty that you will see with your seniors and later with yourself will trouble you a lot. But if you work hard in your studies and your career perspectives along with applying for the relevant job, it gets easier. There isn't any other option too. You need to be calm and focus on your goals. And also, it is common for many students who pursue education abroad to develop the reluctance to return their home country, often perceiving it as a personal failure. However, it is crucial to change this perspective and recognize that returning home should not be seen as a measure of failure. Instead, it can be viewed as an opportunity to utilize the knowledge and skills and international exposure gained during your educational journey to contribute positively to your home community. Another struggle that comes along is family relation. If you are married, you will start having stress about inviting your partner and settling abroad. Even after years, you sometimes might not be able to bring your partners with you. In this situation, you might feel like country isn't for you and you would rather return to your home country. But trust me, a lot of people go through these situations. But in the end, you will get through it. Don't have too many expectations in the beginning. Don't aim on achieving everything on the initial phase. Talking more on settlement, you will always have one question in your mind. Can I stay in this country forever? Even I don't know how to tackle with this question because I am in the same phase right now. I am questioning myself again and again if I can stay in Norway my entire life or not. And I'm struggling to find the exact concrete answer to this question. If anyone watching this video is now abroad and facing the same situation, you can comment down below on how you guys are tackling these questions. Please note that you will not face every single challenge I have talked about in this video today, but there might be a situation where you can face all these challenges in different phases of your abroad journey. Understand that you will gradually get over all these challenges by yourself. You need to believe in yourself and work hard accordingly. Another thing that I suggest to everyone is to have your priorities clear before you move abroad. Don't aim on achieving everything at once, but have a few things that you want to achieve early and few later in life. In setting your priorities this way, life gets a little less stressful. I'll come up with another video next week. Thank you for listening and supporting me till the end. Bye bye.